Did you know that up to 89% of children with autism experience food selectivity? This isn't just being picky, it's a complex neurobiological phenomenon with real health implications. I'm going to break down what the science actually tells us about autism and food. No myths, just facts. When we look at the research, food selectivity affects between 51% and 89% of autistic children. That's significantly higher than in neurotypical kids. And there are specific patterns we see again and again. Many autistic individuals gravitate toward high-carb foods. Think white bread, pizza, cookies, and ice cream. They often prefer sweet tastes while finding bitter or sour flavors genuinely unpleasant. And texture? That's huge. Many have very specific texture preferences and might avoid mixed textures completely. But why does this happen? The science points to three main factors. First, sensory processing differences. What might feel like a mild sensation to you, or me could be overwhelming, or even painful for someone with autism. Imagine if certain food textures felt like sandpaper in your mouth. This isn't being difficult. It's neurological. Second, it's connected to the core autism trait of restricted and repetitive behaviors. Research has found a direct correlation between repetitive behaviors and food selectivity. That desire for sameness and predictability naturally extends to food choices. Third, emerging research suggests connections to gut microbiota differences. Multiple studies have found altered gut microbiomes in autistic individuals, though this research is still evolving. Now here's where it gets serious. These restricted eating patterns have real health consequences. Research shows autistic children often consume fewer fruits and vegetables and get less calcium, protein, vitamins D, B12, C, and zinc than their peers. All those carbs can lead to higher blood glucose and triglycerides, increasing risk for obesity and diabetes. And dental health can suffer too, especially when oral hygiene routines are challenging. So what actually helps? Let's separate myths from evidence. First, let's address a dangerous myth: gluten-free and casein-free diets. Despite their popularity, there's just not enough scientific evidence supporting these restrictive diets for improving autism symptoms. In fact, they can sometimes create nutritional deficiencies. Unless there's a diagnosed allergy or intolerance, these restrictive diets aren't recommended. But there are some promising research-based approaches. A compound called sulforaphane, found in broccoli sprouts, showed substantial improvements in behavior and communication in a controlled trial. And vitamin D3 supplementation has shown positive results across multiple studies. For parents and caregivers, here are practical strategies that actually work. Work with your healthcare provider to monitor nutritional status. Don't go it alone. Consider the sensory aspects of food. Instead of forcing new foods, try food bridging, introducing new options with similar sensory properties to preferred foods. If crunchy works, start with different crunchy foods rather than suddenly introducing soft textures. Create sensory-friendly eating environments by reducing bright lights, loud noises, and strong smells that can overwhelm during meal times. And whenever possible, involve the person in food preparation. Familiarity with food through handling can significantly reduce anxiety. Remember, food selectivity in autism isn't stubbornness or pickiness. It's a neurobiological difference that requires understanding and accommodation. By focusing on evidence-based approaches rather than fad diets or myths, we can better support nutritional health while respecting neurological differences. The science in this area continues to evolve, but one thing is clear. With patience, understanding, and evidence-based strategies, we can support better health outcomes while honoring individual needs and differences. Subscribe and share.